Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video, a brand new review. Of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for coming through. And of course, if you want to, hit the old subscribe button and hang out with me on a regular basis, I'm taking a look at a bunch of different sneakers over here. That option is always there, but either way, let's get into today's pair of shoes, which is the Adidas ClimaCool Vento. Alright, here we go. So, nothing special on the box. It's a very basic Adidas box. You've got the Adidas logo, a nice big one on the top with some smaller ones either side. And of course, you have your sizing and information tag right on the corner over there. Alright, so here is the sneaker. Now, these actually released in the US. I think it was July the 2nd. I know because I really wanted a pair, but I couldn't get my hands on it because it only released out in the US. Now, I'm not too sure when they released here in the UK, but they just popped up on the Adidas app. I had kind of forgot about them at this point, but I saw them and I was like, oh, I am definitely grabbing a pair, especially because they had this all black colorway. Now, they dropped 8 colorways. Now, most of them were kind of like these popsicle, colorful colorways, and there is a black and a white option. I chose the all black version. I think this looks the best. And definitely when you put them on feet, they definitely look good in this all black colorway. First time I saw this sneaker, of course, it being Boost is always going to catch my attention because of just how incredibly comfortable Boost is. Now, when I first saw this, and of course you can see for yourself, but this segmented Boost design is crazy. So the ClimaCool Vento does come in at a pretty cool price tag, pun intended, £120 or I think $140, $150. So it really isn't going to break the bank. But when you get it in hand, you'll kind of understand the price tag. So let's just get straight into the materials and the different design elements that you're getting on this sneaker. So for starters, the upper is what Adidas is calling the SUMMER.RDY, which is like SUMMER.RDY, what Adidas is calling it, is just kind of like this very perforated mesh material segmented by this kind of cheap felt feeling material. Now, of course, ClimaCool being the name and is a kind of brand term that Adidas uses for their kind of ventilated alternative of their Adidas sneakers. So this kind of like cool, breezy, ventilated sneaker option is what kind of this is all about. Now, I do really like the look of it. I think the upper looks really good. However, I don't think it's anything special. I think it's just Adidas calling it summer ready. It definitely does feel very ventilated and cool on foot. However, I don't think the materials as per se are premium by any means. Now, the felt material on this definitely gives the shoe a little bit more structure. Of course, if it was just this kind of perforated mesh material, it would just flop down and it just wouldn't look good at all. Now, the toe box or the mudguard is coming in with this different material. It kind of feels like a little bit of a rubber material, and that's just a little mudguard for added protection. Now, moving up, you do get a tongue, which is heavily perforated and it is detached, so I can see this kind of, doing the whole flip around thing, which I'm not a massive fan of, but it stays pretty basic. The sock liner is, again, pretty basic, just a general purpose mesh material. A decent amount of padding, nothing incredible, but it's a decent amount. The insole of the sneaker is all black and it is heavily perforated as well. And of course you have the Adidas logo with the 3 stripes down by the heel. Now, of course, this definitely plays into it being a very ventilated sneaker. I think the main angle is kind of like a running shoe for the summer. I definitely wouldn't call this like a high performance running shoe by any means. I think, you know, this as a daily sneaker where you're just running to the shops or something like that, I can definitely see being a really good option. It is comfortable, it feels good, but I wouldn't call it a high performance running sneaker. And moving to the back, you have kind of like this upward swooshing heel portion where you can use that little back bit as a pull tab. You do have a heel counter for added support, which is just this plastic material. And of course you have a little Adidas logo right on the back. Now let's move down to the midsole, because that is really what drew me to this sneaker, and I think a lot of other people. So this is something I personally have never seen before in an Adidas sneaker, and I was really hyped about it because it looks crazy from the side. You have like these giant squared off, you know, segmented boost structure, which looks like it's going to be incredibly comfortable, but the application is a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. However, getting it in hand, you can see that it's kind of just like lines added to the outside, and I don't think it really makes any difference in terms of the bend or the way that this sneaker flexes. Now, what I would have thought to be the case was that they actually segmented all the way through from one side to the other, but you can see the actual segmented lines stop pretty early, and it's almost just kind of like a superficial design rather than something for added performance. On foot, it generally just feels like a regular Boost sneaker. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it's not comfortable. It definitely is. However, the Boost is just kind of normal. And as you can see, moving underneath, you have a fairly decent looking traction pattern, which does provide a good amount of grip. And you can kind of see there's little holes in it to show the exposed boost. Now that exposed boost is white, so they obviously just painted this black boost on there. Now, as for sizing, I would say that this fits true to size. However, it is slightly on the more snug side. So if your true to size is very snug already in a lot of different sneakers, I'd maybe consider going up half a size. But if you like that kind of snug fit, then true to size is the way to go. Either way, that is pretty much the end of the video. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, subscribing. Let me know what you think about these, and I'll catch you in the next video. But until then,